and I am so excited because today I'm talking about something really fun, potty training. I shared on Instagram a few weeks ago that we potty trained my second child. Now I have two kids, they are 5 and 2, and my 5-year-old potty trained when she was closer to 3, so she was around 2 years, 9 months, and we thought we might wait for my second daughter because we had such a great experience with my first daughter. So we did. My daughter is 2 and she'll be 3 in March. So we were like, okay, I think it's time. She'll be 3 soon. I shared it and you guys wanted to know all of the details. So I did a little Q&A. I have my phone here with all the questions you guys asked, and I'm going to spill everything right now. So when we potty trained my first daughter, I want to start with this. We tried to potty train her just like the traditional way. We didn't like prepare at all. I just was kind of like, all right, let's potty train. We'll take the diapers away. I had no idea how long it would take. And long story short, it did not go well. So I knew that for me, I needed some more structure. I needed to kind of research a little bit. So I didn't read any books, but I did read one little tiny ebook. It was 50 pages long. And this is the method we used with my 5-year-old and my now 2-year-old who just potty trained. And I swear by it, you guys. So I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description box, but it is called the 3-day potty training method. And the person that wrote this book claims to be the potty training queen. And my friends, 2 kids in, seamless experiences potty training. I'm talking literally 3 days. My children potty trained, both of them, in 3 days. It was crazy. So here is what we did. So the first thing you want to do if you're going to do the 3-day method is you definitely want to throw out the diapers. Throw them out, you're done with them forever. Do not lean on them as a crutch. And the author of the book, and guys, make sure that you purchase it. It was only $9.99, and it was a quick read. It was like 50 pages, but it has a ton of Q&A. It shares like all of the things that you might have questions about if you have a specific child, like age, all the stuff. So I'm not going to address that here. That is in her book, and you guys have got to go support her because she's doing wonderful things. But I'm gonna share what we did. So we threw out the diapers. We said no more diapers forever and ever. And then we said to them, okay, here's the potty. Let me know when you have to go to the bathroom. So it's nerve-wracking, right? I mean, you're so scared that they're gonna have an accident, and we rolled up all of our rugs in our house both times. I got a book about potty training just so I could share with her like what it means to go potty. She's fairly good with like talking to us, so I knew she could tell us when she had to go. It was just a matter of, is she going to understand that sensation? So first thing, throw out the diapers. Second thing, roll up your rugs. Third, tell your child, okay, here are your new underwear. You're going to wear these, and when you have to go potty, let me know. Now, the thing I love about this method is that the goal for the child is not, I'm going to get a sticker, I'm going to get a treat. We didn't do any like extrinsic rewards. We literally just said, okay, if you need to go potty, let us know. Keep these underwear dry. Like, that's the goal. Keep these dry. Don't get them wet. And so it helps them have something to focus on. So we did that, and my first daughter grasped it so well. My second daughter she was really reluctant, and I'll answer those questions that I got from you guys about like kids who are not into the potty. They don't seem like they're ready to do it. I was really scared because she was terrified. The day we went into potty training, she was terrified of sitting on there, and I had to kind of coax her into that first like initial sitting on it so she could see it's not that scary, it's not gonna hurt you. So anyway, that is what we did in the very beginning. So that's day 1. And you guys, this is a 3-day method, and the biggest thing I wanna share with you is you have to stay home for 3 days. Now, it's not that hard right now. We're living in January of 2021. It's still a global pandemic. We're still staying home. But when we trained my first daughter, who's 5, it was harder to stay home all weekend long. We loved going out, doing things, but if you dedicate that time, those 3 days to staying home, you will have a seamless potty training experience. I cannot stress that enough because like I said, both my girls trained in just 3 days, but we had to stay here and keep the potty like accessible for her. That's what we did. And then literally just every single time she went, if she started to go, I'd rush her off to the bathroom. Like by the 3rd or 4th time of her saying, oh, I'm starting to go to the bathroom or whatever, I would just like take her and like rush her off. And even if she like barely started going, I would still kind of rush her off and try to at least end it in the bathroom so she can understand when I have that sensation, I need to go into the bathroom. So kids are so resilient, you guys. She totally got it. She did so great. And after day 3, like I said, she was fine. There were a few times where she had an accident in that first like I'd say the first 24 hours, she had a couple of accidents. The poop thing, she just got amazing. It was like wonderful. So if she had to go number 2, I would just tell her, okay, let me know. And she did just really well with it. So yeah, I think that part of the reason that my kids responded so well to this 3-day method is just they were old enough to understand it. I totally understand if you have an 18-month-old that's ready to potty train, like okay, so now I want to answer all the questions you guys had. I did a little box on Instagram and you sent me all of your questions there. So I'm going to answer them one by one. Hopefully I'll cover a little bit more of the method by answering them. I don't want to share the whole thing because I really want you guys to go support that potty training queen. She really is an angel. I don't know her, but I purchased her book and it was wonderful. So, okay, here are the questions. First one, do you follow a book? Yes, I did. It was called The 3-Day Potty Training Method. Definitely check it out. It really works. It works in 3 days. And she was night trained too. So another question I had was, my son is not interested at all. Should I just wait until he's ready? He has all the signs. I would say yes. Assuming they're like under the age of 3, I would just wait. Personally, that like 2.5 to 3 mark is just wonderful. If you can do closer to 3, that's great, but it's all personal preference. I would love to know your method. My daughter is 2.5 and not interested at all yet. My daughter was not interested at 2.5 and she wasn't interested when we did this method and started, but she delivered. She did really good. She ended up being okay with it once I kind of got her over that fear of the potty. Reading the books really helps. I'll link both books that we read to her in the description below. Tips for toilet training overnight when a child is toilet trained during the day. So I got a lot of overnight questions, and this is hard because some kids, like my first daughter, did really well at night. She woke up dry, so we never had an issue. So my youngest that I just potty trained, she had a really hard time waking up dry the first 2 nights. It's our own fault because we had her drinking a ton of water right before bed. So 2 things that we did was, number 1, we ate dinner earlier so she wasn't thirsty right before bed, and then she's like drinking a ton right before she goes down for bed. And the second thing we did was we limited her water intake after like 5 or 6 p.m. So if they go to bed at 8, I would say like don't give them any fluids but after 6. Now my daughter does still nurse. She'll be 3 in March and she still nurses, but I just give her a tiny little bit of milk before bed. I don't, I let her nurse a tiny little bit before bed. I don't do any like bottles or sippy cups. We've never done that with my girls. So it's not an issue for us, but yeah, the night training stuff is hard. If you're giving them fluid before bedtime, they are absolutely going to pee in bed, I would say. So even my 5-year-old, she'll have to go in the middle of the night if she has a ton of fluid at night. So try to eat earlier and try to get your kids to stop drinking a ton. If they're like dying of thirst, then let them take a quick sip. I'll let my daughter do that, who's 2. She'll like take a quick sip of water, but yeah, try not to. It just makes your life easier and it makes them not wet the bed as much. Do you night train at the same time? Yes, I did potty train her both night and day at the same time. I personally think it's the easiest thing to do. Let's see. How did you know it was time? Can she pull her pants up and down by herself? How old is she? She is 2 years and 9 months, and she is, she cannot pull her pants down or up by herself, although she can now, but when we started the potty training process, she couldn't, and I would help her. I had her wear a dress or like a t-shirt, and then she would just wear her underwear when we were training her, so I wouldn't say like do pants or anything. Since you're gonna be home all day, I would definitely just do the underwear and then like a t-shirt. My 3-year-old son is terrified of the potty. How did you help her overcome? How did you help her overcome the fear? So like I said, we read a couple of books. That was really helpful. It is a scary thing because the kids don't really understand it. Felt like it would be easier this time because she saw her older sister using it, but she was pretty terrified. She's very sensitive. She's my sweet little Rose. But I will say, just like reading, and then I'm going to be honest, when I first put her on the potty, I gave her like some crackers and I was like, okay, let's sit here for a second. See, it's not scary. And she ended up being okay. And then each time it got easier. But sometimes, and I know you don't want to like traumatize them, I would say if your child is younger, like they just turned 2, do not put them on the potty and traumatize them because they're probably not ready. But if they're 2 years and 9 months or 2 years and 8 months, they can talk really well. They can tell you how they're feeling, what they're doing with their language and stuff. I would say definitely just try to, not bribe, but make them feel comfortable on the potty. There's nothing wrong with that. So again, everything is just personal preference. This is just my experience. I try not to do a lot of extrinsic rewards with my kids because I want them to just do things because that's what we do. But sometimes you want your kids to feel comfortable and you need them to try things that they wouldn't normally want to try, like sitting on the potty. Have you found a best age to potty train? I would say definitely 2.5 to 3. 18 months, is it too early to potty train? My older daughter potty trained late. I would say 18 months is too young personally, but it depends on the child. Every child is different. I would not potty train at 18 months, but that's just me. It's just harder on the adults. Let's see. Would it be better to wait until they're closer to 3? Yes. What made you wait until she's almost 3? Why not earlier? Like I said, I just really didn't want to go through the hassle of having potty training be like a 6-month process. I know as a teacher, I would see my preschoolers or different families have a hard time with like potty training, and I just didn't want to have to deal with that. So I wanted to wait until they were developmentally ready, number 1, and number 2, just like that specific child was emotionally ready. So one of the moms wrote that it's very different for boys, and I think it's important to recognize that for boy moms. Now, I don't have any boys, so I have 2 girls. I don't have any boys. So if you are a boy mom, I will try to, I don't know, maybe interview this mom and try to get some ideas for you on like boy potty training. This is just my experience. The book I read doesn't say like it's boy or girl specific, but I have heard that boys, it can be a little bit tougher to potty train. So I'll try to get her to give some input for this. Do you have to wake up at night to go potty in order to achieve no nighttime accidents? That's a great question. So yes, sometimes I do wake her. If she wakes up in the middle of the night, I will always ask her, do you need to go potty? Now she starts her night in her room, but she'll end her night in our room. So I will always ask her when she comes in, do you need to go potty? And like 9 times out of 10, she'll say no. But sometimes she says yes. She has gone in the middle of the night a couple times. So just, you get into the habit of just kind of always saying, do you have to go potty? Do you have to go potty? I will say that when you are training them, you want to say, don't ask them over and over, do you have to go potty? Do you have to go potty? It's better to say, let me know if you have to go potty, because then it's not a question all day long. You're coaxing them, bothering them. My 5-year-old really got sick of it. She was like, okay, don't ask me again. I didn't want to annoy her. I wanted her to be comfortable, but I also need to let her know, okay, if you need to go, just let me know. All right, and then it says, did you use a small potty or just the seat insert? That is a great question, and that's the last one. So, a lot of those were answered like many times, so I'm just answering all the questions I got one time. But yes, so we did use a little potty insert for the big potty. I personally don't recommend using a tiny potty because then you have to go from that tiny potty to the big huge potty, and it's a whole nother issue. So personally, I didn't use the tiny potty. Like I said, everyone has their own preference, but I liked the idea of the bigger potty, and we just bought a little seat insert, and I'll put a link to it in the description. And we just bought the seat insert and put it into our bigger toilet, and she has her little seat. And I have one for each of the bathrooms, so they were like $9 or $10. And I would have reused the ones I used for my older child with my younger child, but we didn't keep them, so we had to buy them again. No big deal. It made the potty training process great. Anyway, hopefully these questions and these answers were helpful to you. Like I said, go check out that ebook. Hopefully you guys have a good time potty training. Hopefully your kids aren't too difficult on you. Remember, they're little, they're trying, they're learning. Don't get frustrated if they have accidents, guys. Just try to be a calm, neutral space for them and provide support as best you can. I promise you'll get through it. And yeah, so I'm gonna put a link to the blog post that I wrote with my first child. This was like a few years back, but I do have a post, like a play-by-play of how we did the potty training thing. So you can go check that out at the link in the description. And if you like this video, please hit a thumbs up. And if you like videos from my channel, make sure to subscribe so you can get notified when a new video goes up. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.